All right, guys, welcome back. This is funny. I have a 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited X or whatever the heck it is. So, okay, this thing came in because the customer has a light on the dashboard, multiple lights on actually on the dashboard. The hood ajar light is on. Had a check engine light on when I drove it in, and multiple other module complaints. I scanned this thing, and what I'm going to do before I go any further, this is a 2020, so keep in mind you need a subscription to be able to get past the secure gateway module on these vehicles. Okay, so we do have it. Obviously, we have the Bosch ADS. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first back out, and we're going to do our best. Get you a view, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to saved reports. I'm going to go to this here, and we're going to just take a look here through what's going on and what we have. This is all stuff that was in there. You notice engine hood switch circuit high, implausible data from transfer case performance, this, that, all this stuff. Let's see here, keep going. Body control module, hood ajar input circuit open, ambient air temperature circuit, short to battery or open. Scanned. Some of these things are not in the vehicle, so I'm just going through, and I think that's it. Now, the common thing that I saw here is what the customer was telling me, okay? Okay, so keeping this in mind, all right, I'm going to back out of here, and I'm going to go into read DTCs, and I'm going to go to body control and engine control module. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to just give you a short background. The customer came in, called, and said that they installed this horn here, right? And as you can see, the way this thing is, the way this is all set up here. See if I can get some light for you guys. All right, this is where we're at. Okay, this is what we're working with. Now, I have already gone through this vehicle and figured out what was going on and what happened, and it's not good news in any sense. I did not, now the key is off on this thing. I didn't scan the engine control module, which is fine. Here's what I want to show you. We have codes here, okay, currently, right? So what I did was I got to, and I'm putting pictures, I'm going to have pictures in here to show you guys the stuff that was in here when I first started taking a peek, all right? Just take a look at these pictures of this installation. This is a 2020 again, guys, brand new vehicle. This harness here, these two wires, the purple and brown, which you can't really make out, and the purple and blue, which you might make out a little bit, are the wires that go to your sensor, your hood sensor. So just keep that in mind, okay? And I'm gonna try to zoom you guys in a bit, if I can, on the diagram. It's kind of hard here. I wasn't planning to do a video on this, like I said, but if we take a look here at the sensor, notice the colors of the wires, the violet and brown, if you can make it out, go into the BCM, that's a sensor ground, okay, sensor ground. And then the other wire is your hood ajar switch sense, okay. So, again, with that in mind, here's my scope. I am hooked up on the blue channel, which is my sense. That's the actual sense circuit going back to the BCM. And here is my ground, my sensor ground. Now if you notice, they're mirroring each other, they're the same. I'm going to unplug the sensor. Okay, here's where we are at. Okay, I'm unplugged, and if you look where I am on the scope, on that ground, we're 580 millivolts. Now, watch the scope. Notice now, I'm going to change my cursor here. See the difference when I apply a ground? Okay. That is unplugged. All right, so we are back plugged in now, okay? And if you notice, my voltage again here is mirroring the signal voltage, and we're right about 10. I can't see the yellow trace too good, guys, so just bear with me there. But we're right about 10 volts, 10.5 volts, okay? And I'll give you a shot here. I put cursors in so you can see it. All right, about 10.5 volts on both. Now that you got a base of what's going on here, let's do this. I'm going to put you back on the scan tool. I'm going to back out of this. I'm going to show you what is going on. I am going to go into body control. Customize. Oh, and just keep something in mind here that I forgot to mention before. The hood is latched on this vehicle, okay? So this thing should think the hood is closed right now, and I forgot to mention that, but I did manually latch this hood, okay? So I'm gonna sort A to Z. I love that function. We're gonna go to our hood ajar switch state, which is already on the selection, and I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see. And you see right now it says ajar, okay? All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate the sensor ground. This is to the chassis. I'm back probed into that same wire, the yellow trace on the scope, and I don't know what to show you first here. I guess all I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to touch this to here. I'm going to clip it on so that I'm applying a ground, okay? So let's take a look here first where we're at. All right, I'm going to put this on to the ground and just watch the PID, not a jar, okay? And this will clear the codes now for sure, because now it can actually sense the circuit. And I'm going to show you something else while we're here. Again, forgive me for the crap video work on this. Was not prepared to do a video on this thing, and I'm just trying to get something across here. We're going to once again remove our ground from that circuit, and if you see and you watch our scope right now, we are at 10.5 volts. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my ground, and you can watch the voltage on the scope, the yellow trace. You can see it drop, okay, down, way down to ground. As you can see right there. And the yellow trace, 52 millivolts, okay? And once again, not a jar. So now, let's go a step further, and I'm going to set you guys up to watch this. I'm going to go inside, I'm going to hit the hood release, which obviously did not change before. And as you can see now, we have a hood ajar. on the vehicle. And we're sitting somewhere around 3.5 volts on the blue trace now. Hood is ajar. I'm going to go back and I'm going to relatch the hood. And if we look now, and I'm using the cursor so that you guys can see the difference. We're about 5.2 volts, okay? And the scan tool agrees, okay? Now, next step, let's go in, or get out rather, of here. We're going to go to DCCs, select all, continue. All right, I had to back out of this thing because of the secure gateway module. It would fail going in. I had to restart the tool and reinstall my reset my password, and this is going to be a real lot of fun, I guess, with these cars. But anyway, as you can see, I'm in the body control module at this point, and I have no codes. And what I will do is select all, continue, and I'm going to try this one more time here. See if we can't verify so you guys can actually see this. I'm only doing it for your benefit, that you can see there's no codes in that body control. And I do have the ignition on, and I do have this thing scanning all of the modules, okay? And I still have my ground hooked up to the sensor ground there that's missing. So we'll let this run, scan. I'm sorry for the time, but it takes a little time to go through all of them. But as you can see, the BCM has no codes now, nor do any of the other modules, except for the ABS, which does have a implausible data received from the transfer case. And I do not know about that, nor am I going into that. But it's not here for it. In any case, engine control, no codes, okay? So if I disconnect this ground that I've run, it is going to set a code. So why do we have this problem? Well, show you. This harness obviously was cut, okay, and I repaired it, putting it back to stock configuration. This was wired in and jumped into this harness, and when that was done, this was the power feed coming from here and had the horn wire as well as that ground wire spliced together for the sensor ground. So I removed that, and this is where I was, having codes, having a non-functioning hood sensor here, right? And the cause of it is because we do not have a good ground from the BCM. So what do we take away from this? Don't, same old story, don't touch something when you don't know what's going on. These cars are way too complicated and have way too many things in them to start installing aftermarket components, especially when you don't know what you're doing. There's way too much in this car that you can damage by touching things when you don't know. So, with that said, he needs a BCM, and I can't do it because I do not have the LSID required, nor do I have the ability to program MegaCAN. So that's pretty much the end of the story, and that's where we're going to quit. I did what I could. I did what I was asked to do. He needs a BCM. The end of the story. So I hope that if you guys are inclined out there to start having a friend or a friend of a friend or whatever touch your car, maybe this gets a little light on why you shouldn't do that. If not, well, we're here to fix it. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful to somebody. Again, sorry about the poor video quality and you know, editing here, but it's the best that I could do on a short notice thing. I was not expecting to do a video on this. So have a good day, guys. See you later.